aliens. According to forensic experts in Peru, they are $2.
It has gotten old. Like anything else, it has become a job, a task, no longer an exciting experience. HAUT, H-A-U-T, you ought to remember HAUT.
The 509th Bomb Group, incidentally, was a very elite group. It was the only atomic bomb group in the world at the time. And to put out a press release about something so dramatic as a crashed UFO without being absolutely certain he was correct. In other words, if Blanchard said there was a crashed disc, there was a crashed disc.
Over the last 50 years, I have captured monsters on the rampage and locked them up in a secret prison facility. So secret that the mere mention of its name is a federal offense.
Is he referring to Area 50?
Oh, take a look at this.
Whoa, look at that! This is horrible!
I got that one on video. Major sighting here.
Oh my God, get your mother.
Mom, come here.
And now I'll ask Officer Stein and his colleagues to escort the accused into the room so that we may all look upon the guilty party. Don't get him too close to me, please. This just goes to show that you guys are entirely too serious. I can definitively say that this craft did not resemble any man-made object that I'd ever seen.
Yeah, like the sky was filled with orbs, and this went on for over an hour. And, you know, there's usually a window, you know, after sunset and before the sun rises where the sky is filled with satellites. It's pretty easy to identify, especially if you have, you know, trackers for that stuff. But this is outside that window. They seem to be emitting their own light source as well.
And again, just because I have to ask, we're not like staring towards some international airport or military base where planes would be coming and going.
Goodness, no. Yeah, no. I take this very serious. I spend a lot of time out under the stars, and we pick strategic positions in which, you know, we can demonstrate these abilities and get video, and we keep them away from airports and all that stuff. We really are in the middle of nowhere.
I'm gonna.
You.
What
Hello.
the fuck? What the fuck? This is right over the house right now.
Yeah, I told you they'd come.
What the fuck, dude?
That's for you, man.
What the fuck? Whoa.
That's really close, too.
Whoa.
Due north.
Let me see that thing.
Yeah, it's recording. Get a good video of it. Okay.
That the crop circle was not here on the previous day but had appeared on the following morning was a fact. That John Whaley was here at dawn could be confirmed by a military patrol that happened to be jogging by at the time.
I have a picture of one of the aliens been working for the United States Pentagon for the last 58 years. His name is Valiant 4. But anyway, he basically hasn't changed. He lives for 490 years, is what he says his lifespan is. Now, he's supposedly a semi-benevolent, he's a human-looking type person. He has 6 fingers and 6 toes, and he's got one oversized heart, one lung, giant lung. His blood vessels are bigger. He's got copper oxide for blood, similar to an octopus. His brain capacity 300 centimeters greater than ours. He has a thinking capacity, IQ, if you were to measure it, be totally off the scale, be about a 1200 IQ. He speaks 100 languages fluently, alien as well as others. he's a remarkable person. I had a chance to meet him one time.
The mystery today is, how would they do this? And again, we don't know, but I'm speculating how they would do this. Okay, so while the pharaoh is drugged up, the pharaoh is dressed up as Ra, and he will take an effigy or a real person, and he will stab, lance, burn, or strangle that person to feel as though you're a virtuous hero. And also what will happen is that the pharaoh will then be asked to be Osiris. And guess what? The person will be put in a tomb, cut up, and have sex with a prostitute, okay? Pretending to be a priest. And then Horus will be, of course, this, okay? So this is all to create trauma, which creates disassociation, which allows the priest to program the pharaoh, okay?
My birth certificate may be a little bit off. I'm still learning a lot about my background. I'm still piecing things together. But my birth certificate says I was born in '86. So I guess I'm 37 or so. I mean, from birth up until like around 4 years old was when these kind of dissociative systems were pretty solidified. So this is very, very early. Like most of this is pre-conscious. When I was a little bit older, my mother had a boyfriend who was not in the cult. He wasn't allowed to see her for very long because the handlers didn't like me having a positive role model. So he was cut off from me for most of my childhood.
Sorry to hear that.
Thanks. Yeah, I was being trained for a wide variety of things. Most obviously to accept sexual violence, to perpetrate sexual violence, to accept and to perpetrate physical violence. I was being trained as a killer. I was being trained also as a breeder for the cult. So I was supposed to create many children, and I did create many children after I passed through puberty later on. Basically being trained for constant sexual activity from the moment I was born, like absolutely constant. And that was normalized as much as possible in my household. Yeah, the cult network uses electricity, electric torture, electroshock quite pervasively.
Yeah.
So that was the case for my mother, it was the case for me.
And me.
Sorry to hear that. But then also in Front Life, she went through medically prescribed, like mainstream psychiatric electroconvulsive therapy, which is a whole different thing, similar and related. I mean, part of the idea with that was that it would discredit her.
Of course.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stigma associated with mental health treatment.
In a large sense, she was very much a victim. She was very much on the victim side of the network, except that she also abused you?
She did, yeah. Yeah, we had an incestuous relationship from birth also.
Yeah. That must be so complex.
I'm glad it's over. From the age that yeah, it was made clear to me from the age that I could even hold the thought that my mother was a token and a pawn, and I mean, she would be raped in front of me and beaten in front of me, and you know, it was, yeah, I mean, they wanted me to know that she, you know, was at the beck and call of others.
So, were some of the handlers perhaps better parental figures, or?
I guess in some senses, yeah, some of them were more coherent, and so I was able to bond with them more consistently. That's true. Yeah.
But the rape was coming from everywhere.
Yeah.
They were all guilty of that.
Mm-hmm.
That the Council of 13 is under and they have something called the Grand Druid Council or the Octagon, they're called the Illuminati. And the Illuminati are actually run by these 13 bloodlines, which are all of the royal families in Europe and in England. And they need the blood because they are, in fact, not human. They take human shape. They are reptilians. And they need the blood. The blood helps them maintain their reptilian shape, and it helps them maintain their sanity, and it helps them to live in this world because they are not from this world.
Does that relate to what the Nazis call vril power and what the Hindus call the serpent power in the blood?
Yes, the blood has something. It has something in it. It has secretions from the pituitary gland and from the pineal gland, and it has a very strong drug in it that they also, I mean, this is the one that keeps them from going crazy, and it's like heroin or like endorphins, and it's much stronger. But what they need is, for it to be secreted in the blood, is they need terrorization of their victims before they are killed for their blood, or if a young woman is beginning to menstruate, they need the menstrual blood, and they have to terrorize them to get this to come out in the blood and be secreted in the blood.
Is this the what other people have told me about, that at the point of great terror, like the point of sacrifice, there's an adrenaline that enters the bloodstream? Is this what they're looking for?
Yes, that and this other element comes and secretes out through the blood. This all comes out through the blood at that time, and it's at that point they are actually staring into the eyes of the head of at some of these rituals, or at a reptilian. They are staring into the eyes of this person, and they're held. It's a hypnotic gaze these reptilians have, and it holds the victim in an absolute trance, in a trance of terror, and then they are killed at that moment as they are staring into their eyes. And not only do they can't hold their shape when this happens. The
human shape.
The human shape they cannot hold. They go back into reptilian shape as this is happening, because it's like an animalistic type of excitement of the kill. And they oftentimes they will just rip into the victim and eviscerate them and start eating the flesh of this person too. And the fat from the intestinal area is highly valued, as they use it on their skin. And they will drink the blood, and the blood is highly sought after, and it goes according also to rank within these creatures, as to who gets what when. And their sacrifices have increased in the last, it started increasing in the early 80s. The amount that they were doing is increased. And they use a lot of druidic holidays to do this, but they have other days too. They've mixed all of these satanic and what are called satanic holidays and druidic holidays, and in order to have these rituals, which ritual seems to be important to them. But they also use it in order to drink this blood, but they seem to need more.
Have you any idea why it's increased since the 80s?
So there are changes going on in the earth. It seems they're not able to hold their shape like they once were able to. and people see them shapeshift more and more, and they need the blood to try and maintain it, to try and maintain their human form. I believe there's a time coming that because of what I've been told, when they are not going to bother having to hold that human shape as they had to before, and they want that time to come. It's almost upon us.
Silencing people. They told me that we belonged to the cult of Baal, B-A''A''L. They told me this with consistency while I was being abused. Now, what you can look up about the cult of Baal, information that is publicly available, is that it is thousands of years old. It is a Phoenician satanic fertility cult. And publicly, it's supposed to have been eradicated. But to my knowledge and my experience, it is not. This is what people perceive the Illuminati to be. It is a group of elites that practices forced and uses these crimes to control people. They happen to have a huge reach over politics and entertainment. My great-grandfather, according to my father, was Walt Disney. Before he moved to the United States, his name was Artur Bick, Arturbicke. And his twin sister, who he had children with, who I am descended from, was named Minnie. That's where we get Mickey and Minnie Mouse. It's very cute, right? Except for when you consider the abuse that I suspect is still happening to children who go into the entertainment industry, children who are born into it. My father was abused by his parents, and I was raised going to these giant where I would meet other children who were put on television. I was raised getting taken to Bohemian Grove, where I was, after a ceremonial corpse burning Alex Jones has talked about. And my memories of these circumstances are still somewhat fragmented. These assaults happened a couple times a month, and I'm blessed not to remember every detail. But my father was consistent in what he told me. It's hard for me to talk about. I want to just answer your questions honestly, as my answers align with what I was told and what I have experienced. Now, this is alleged. When birth certificates have been forged, it's not something I can immediately research myself. All I have to go on is what lies in my memory of who I have met and what I was told. To answer your basic question, why my family does this, because it was done to them, because having one man bears many children in a generation as possible, and forcing them through these traumatic events, they believe it creates a stronger bond, that creates more loyalty, that it keeps people from talking. And for the most part, they're right, because I'm the only one of my siblings who has directly spoken out about this. There are people who have hinted at it in their music. Of course, Justin Bieber has talked about being assaulted by Usher and Justin Timberlake at P. Diddy's parties, but I don't think it's a coincidence they've only gone after Sean Combs and not his other alleged perpetrators who were born into the bloodline. There seems to be a level of protection for people who are simply born into that world, contrasted with people like Sean Combs or R. Kelly, who joined as adults. But I was not in the boardrooms. I was a child on drugs. So I can't tell you exactly who organizes this, exactly how it happens. It's just speculation and memory.
But the fault lies in all of you! You, who bought that $300,000 house when you only had $20,000 to put down! You, who bought that third car even though only 2 people in your home drive! It is time to stop pointing fingers! Finger pointing gets us nowhere! Steve, we have mocked our economy, and now the economy has cast its vengeance upon us all.
Drip too hard, don't stand too close. You gon' fuck around and drown. Off this way, doing all these shows. I've been on the road, I don't care where I go, long as I get paid.
Playing with my name, this shit is lethal, dawg. Who you say what? Don Corleone. Trust me, at the top it isn't lonely. Everybody acting like they know me, dawg. Don't just say it now, you gotta show me what you gotta do. Bring the clip back empty. You asked to see the ball, so they sent me, dawg.
You've got Tesla, who gets funded by JP Morgan to create wireless technology, but Tesla gets a little ambitious and says, I'm going to do wireless communication, but I'm going to take your $150,000, I'm going to do wireless energy. We'll do free energy around the world. And Morgan's like, how do you put a meter on that? Tesla's like, what do you mean? This propel mankind forward. Morgan pulls his funding, tells everyone in the investment class, this guy's a kook, and if you invest with him, you don't do business with me. A few years later, Wardenclyffe Tower gets torn down, Tesla dies in poverty.
Let's talk about Raptors. Be sure to follow these do's and don'ts to avoid a diplomatic incident.
Look, Pim, I get what's going on here. They're the bizarro versions of us. That's fine. But what's their endgame? What's the point of this? It's just pissing me off now.